Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to talk about saltwater corrosion and how to discover if your boat engine has saltwater corrosion issues. Maybe a prospective boat you're looking at buying has those saltwater issues inside the cooling system, the jackets and all that stuff. Today's video we're going to teach you how to figure that out quickly and easily, just a couple of steps. If you notice right next door here, I got my friend Chris with me here. Chris is one of our lead techs. He's been here for years and years and years, and he has the wonderful job of getting in these boats every time we bring in one in for consignment, inspecting, establishing that VHS score. And every time we do this, especially on saltwater boats, we pull the anodes and we pull the thermostats. And that's the quickest way to determine whether or not if it's got cooling issue problems, corrosion problems. So today we're going to show you how to do that. The subject boat here is a 210 FSH, which has the TR1 motors. We'll also show you on a 1.8 liter and even the 1.9 where those things are, so you can find it on your respective boat if you don't have a TR1 equipped engine. All right, all that said, let's jump inside and get after it. As you can tell by looking at these engine covers, they say high output, they're solid black. This is going to be your 1.8 liter engines as well as your 1.8 liter supercharged. That's naturally and supercharged versions. On the naturally aspirated engines, you'll be able to get to the anodes very easily. We'll show you that now. On the supercharged versions, you have to take off the fuel rail over on the left-hand side of the motor. And as you can tell by looking at the engine covers, these are the 1.9 liter engines. And these are the locations for the thermostat and anodes on the 1.9. For those of you that are not familiar with how these boats work, the engines on a Yamaha boat specifically are open loop, meaning that when they are running in freshwater or saltwater, they're picking up water on the surface of the water they're riding on, sucking that water up through the engine. That cools the engine and the exhaust, and then it spits it back out overboard. Freshwater boat guys, this video is probably not for you because we don't really deal with a lot of the corrosion issues on freshwater boats. But saltwater use boats, this is definitely something you're going to want to pay attention to, especially if you're trying to determine, does your boat have any sort of early warning signs of saltwater corrosion? Or maybe you're buying a boat and you're trying to determine, is the engine, has it been cared for? These are the dead giveaways to know for sure if this boat's been cared for. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the thermostat. On the TR1, it is on the back of the motor, kind of facing aft. A couple of bolts holding it in place. Those are 10 millimeter bolts. Be careful removing these bolts. You don't want to drop these down in the bilge. All right, so Chris has removed the thermostat now. I want to bring this in tight, let you kind of see what it looks like. That's a brand new thermostat. In this boat, the engine needed to have some work done because of some potential corrosion issues. I don't think it was necessarily corrosion issues, but it was like just preventive. So we went ahead and replaced the thermostats because they look kind of cruddy. And we'll actually show that up on the screen real quick here. Do you see the difference? This one looks really, really awful, and this one right here, obviously brand new. So if this thermostat looks nice and clean, or even just a little bit, maybe just like a little film on it, it's probably a freshwater boat or something that's been flushed really, really well. Someone used maybe salt away or Dawn dish detergent or something. But this is what you're looking for. If you see one like we're showing on the screen right now where it's all corroded or caked up with salt or caked up with sand or both, that means that the owner of the boat did not flush it properly after saltwater use. Or maybe they blew a bunch of sand through the system all the time. Maybe they're running super shallow. Either way, it could be indicative of an engine that's got issues. I might say, buy it cheap or steer clear because you may have a problem on your hands. All right, now let's jump over now onto the anodes. Locating your anode. This is the engine anode on a TR1 engine. We are using a 12 millimeter socket. We've got an extension here to help us get in there. It's in between the first and second cylinders there. Kind of, if you're looking at the back of the motor, it's between that first and second cylinders. And Chris is going to remove the bolt first. Once that bolt comes out, going to have to kind of pass that anode through those intake manifolds to get it out to inspect it. Be very careful not to lose the bolt down in the bilge on this step. He's pulling the bolt completely free of the anode there. Now to get the anode out, he's not going to be able to pass it out through that intake manifold. He's going to have to pass it beneath and out the front. Thank you, Chris. So this is basically a brand new anode, engine anode, just came out of the TR1. This engine, again, had just had some work. So we put brand new thermostats and brand new anodes in it. But this is what you're looking for. This guy on the outside here needs to be in great condition, not worn down, not chewed up, not corroded, clean. Sometimes they'll be a little discolored because of the lake water that you're operating in, or maybe some dirty water, but you want that size. Anytime that these things wear down, you'll see them to begin to degrade. They'll become smaller. When they're corroded badly, they'll actually expand, and they can be very difficult to get out of the block. So that's also an indicator maybe if you've got a problem. You'll also notice there's a little nut, or excuse me, a bolt right here in the middle. That bolt in the middle is what holds this little adapter to the actual anode itself. So when you're down there, you're not going to be trying to release that bolt. You know, when you're trying to pull it out of the boat, you're going to want to release the one that's right here, and that's going to be that 12 millimeter. So that's a good looking anode. When I put this back in the boat, if I was inspecting this, I would say this is grade A, has been well cared for. If you are looking at a boat that you're looking at buying, the first thing I would ask, if it's a saltwater boat, let me inspect the anodes and the thermostats. Or maybe you're just trying to do some maintenance on your own boat. Want to check it out? Those are two giveaways that will tell you if you're doing a good job with your flushing. Some people ask, how often should I replace these? Honestly, I don't see people replacing them often, but if you feel like you would like to replace them, maybe every couple of years or so, that's up to you. I don't know if there's really a spec for when you should replace them or not. For saltwater guys, obviously it's more important than freshwater guys. Anyway, well, hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you've got questions at all about this process, we'd love to hear what you think. Comment below, be glad to answer your questions for you. And as always, if you like this content, if it's been helpful to you in any way at all, do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That helps us to get into YouTube's algorithm, helps them to put us out into the ether there, and drives more people towards our videos, helps us to keep making high quality content like this. And as always, if you like this video, check this one out.